Yeah, it's CC, the CEO. Wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder that can teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black-owned firm, but we ain't all black.
Okay, can I tell you that every time I hear that song, I get hyped. I'm like, you better go Constance Carter.
Like, well, hey, sis.
Hey, sis. How are you doing, beautiful woman?
Wonderful, wonderful, gorgeous. It is so good to see your beautiful smiling face. And I miss our other sis.
I know. She decided that she had business. I'm sorry, let me say it right. Important business to tend to. And I understand, honey, everybody got to handle their business every once in a while. You get what I'm saying?
I'm not mad at all. I just miss her, but I ain't mad at her.
But listen, the truth is nobody works harder than Constance Carter. So we got to make sure.
What is the word on the street, right?
Good. Word on the deck. So listen to Stay Hall. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you plug your website real quick because, I just think it's important.
Well, absolutely. My website is stayhall.com. So very easy to remember. And you can find all things Stay Hall and Running for Your Life, LYFE, Love Yourself First explicitly, right there at stayhall.com.
Honey,
and so to hear a little bit about how we can find out about Veg Out and Dine so we can eat right.
Honey, listen, Veg Out and Dine, all things Veg Out and Dine, and all things April Sanpay. I want to listen. I need to put it out there. Everybody knows that I'm a vegan, right?
Yes.
And everybody knows Tabitha Brown is also a vegan.
Yes.
And child, she just came out with this new seasoning called Sunshine Seasoning. I want to say it's called.
Yes. Have you gotten it yet? I heard it sold out in like 39 minutes.
It's Tabitha Brown. She got like 10 million followers.
Wow.
Like outside of her house.
Bought it all out?
Huh?
You think maybe Wendy Williams cleared the shelves and bought it all?
No, because honey, Wendy Williams, if you look at the way Wendy Williams eats, because she's like, honey, I'm a foodie. I eat such glamorous food. Child, if you watch the things that Wendy Williams eat, honey, sit your behind all the way down. Amen?
You bring to the choir on that one. Wendy is just so hilarious to me. And then it's funny you said that thing, foodie, and how she eats, because that's something kind of off topic. But I feel like people call themselves foodies just to give themselves permission to eat whatever, whenever.
Okay, so I'm one of those people, but don't tell nobody but God.
But you're vegan, so you're whatever and whenever good. But yeah, I mean, it's like, so let's jump into this whole Wendy Williams Tabitha thing, because Tabitha is clearly doing her thing. And the funny thing about it is, evidently, at some point of me scrolling through the internets, I ran into Tabitha Brown and I started following her, but I guess I just kind of lost touch. So I really don't watch her videos or anything. I don't know why. She must not show up in my regular feed, but something about her intrigued me when I first ran across her. She just seemed like a wonderful, spirit. And so I'm just wondering, though, with Wendy, with Tabitha being such a beautiful spirit, was anybody really shocked the way Wendy went in? Because Tabitha's being Tabitha, but Wendy's being Wendy.
Okay. I'm going to say this, because I am that person who don't believe any hype. Hello? Yes, I said don't believe any hype. Not you. Listen. So I think it's ironic that Miss Tabitha Brown 3 weeks ago put out her Sunshine seasoning. And then 2 weeks ago, decides to retire her husband. And then within a day or two, Wendy Williams all of a sudden magically got something to say. And then magically, out of nowhere, this sunshine is on top of everybody's mind. It's like on top of everything. Every time I turn around, somebody's talking about Miss Tabitha Brown sunshine that don't nobody have and can't nobody get.
Okay, so we're believing this was a setup. Is what I hear you saying, a publicity stunt. I mean, I can't say that it's not. I mean, it would make sense. I'm sure it did not hurt either one. And that's the thing, the gotcha in this, because even though Wendy got drugs, supposedly, it happens to Wendy all the time. So that's what she does. That's her thing. That's her shtick. She comes for people and people get mad about it. And she loses not one viewer. And so if it was a publicity stunt, then I'm not mad, because Tabitha, is popular and she has a lot of followers, but I'm sure she gained even more through this, because I can say for me, like I said, I follow her, but I really wasn't engaging. But once this news broke, I'm like, oh, I remember that lady. Let me check her out. You know what I mean? So she got at least a few more views from me. And I'm like, oh, now I remember why I really liked her. So again, Wendy was just doing what Wendy does. And if anything, it helped maybe both of them, because, they say there's no such thing as bad publicity, because Wendy hasn't, really had much press lately.
Honey, listen, the fact is okay, so I like what Bright Eyes said, talking about she may be able to get her foot out her mouth by buying Tabitha's new seasoning. I like what you're saying. I feel you, but I just don't believe any of it. And yes, all publicity is supposed to be good publicity, right? I just think that it's doing too much at like right now. Tabitha is already like on the forefront of everybody's mind, because they call her now what is it? She's the internet's mom.
Oh, okay. So she got her own tagline.
I mean, no, they've created her. I mean, they titled her as America's mom or internet's mom. I don't know, because like she's supposed to be that mother figure, like so like that, and she got that little country southern twang thing going on. That's supposed to be she's so mild mannered. Honey, the read that she gave Wendy Williams was everything.
Oh my goodness, it was so Southern charm. And so it was just bless your heart.
Okay, so for all of the people who are not from down south, I need to put this out there. If somebody says bless your heart, you do have permission to slap them in the face, because that is a sweet read. Okay, they are cursing you out politely, but yeah, she just gave her the best read, which made me have a little, she had more of a place in my heart for Tabitha Brown, until 2 days later, all of a sudden, we're hearing about this seasoning that nobody heard about 3 weeks ago. See, 3 weeks ago when they dropped it, nobody heard about it. 2 weeks ago, nobody heard about it, until after that good old Southern read, child, that good old Southern read.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, I ain't mad at her, but it was just funny to me how many people were just on that whole Wendy Williams. Oh, Wendy did this and that, and Wendy's hating on her, and Wendy's whatever. Wendy is doing what Wendy does. That's the part that I just kept getting confused about. I don't even know why Wendy says and does half of the things she does, why she chooses to come for the people that she comes for. And with her, clearly Wendy is a broken woman. I mean, she has a lot of issues. She shares her issues. You can just look at her and see that she struggles. But I can't say that every single person that she has something to say is even coming from the heart or sincere. It's just the thing. She says things for shock value.
And I'm okay with the shock value because, I'm sorry, listen, for those of you who don't know, I am a Wendy fan. I've been to the Wendy Williams show quite a few times. I love me some Wendy Williams. How you doing? But I do think that Tabitha is right. Wendy does need some love. Now listen, does anybody watch? Hold on, wait. Somebody said that's not even her real voice. I agree with you.
That's not even her real nothing.
No, they're talking about Tabitha Brown.
Oh, Tabitha. Oh, well, Wendy, I don't feel like Wendy got anything real going.
No, that's very, very true. No, you are right. Everything is made up. And yes, I mean, I don't know if anybody knows, but Tabitha Brown is an actor or actress with a house.
Right. I mean, I was reading about that with this. That's what she was saying. Her original goal in this agreement she had with her husband was for her to break into the acting field. So again, if that's anybody's number one priority, then you always have to feel like there's some drama and extra on whatever it is they're doing. She's a character.
Facts. But again, when it comes to Wendy Williams, poor baby. Now, when that man done made a baby, a whole baby, okay, he done gave somebody else who he was in a relationship for over 10 years. Okay, I just want to put that out there. He was in a relationship while he was married and gave a what? A whole baby. When you give somebody a whole baby, and Wendy Williams is like, okay, let me pretend like I'm taking drugs. Let me go into a rehab house. Let me get all the way away from you so that I may start my whole life anew. Okay? She's bitter. She's sad. And she needs some. Anybody watch her show and notice how every single man who comes on the show, she's always like, hey, would you like me to open my legs to you? Have you watched? Have you noticed? I'm like,
I don't watch her show, but I see her on Instagram, and yeah, she looks a bit thirsty.
Honey, desert thirst. Honey, she's desert thirsty.
Yeah,
okay?
She's dehydrated.
She is dehydrated, lips are chapped, honey. This is a problem. I'm like, hold on, wait. This man that came up on here talking about I am married, I am with someone, and you like, hey, who you doing? Sit your behind down somewhere. Sit your big-breasted behind, big-breasted, no behind, down somewhere.
Right. And that's what happens. I see Adrian had made a post and said that saying things for shock value is one thing, but you know, when it's words from a bitter old hag. But that's the thing. Wendy is bitter, and she does. I mean, but Wendy has been bitter. And so y'all know my whole thing, what I live by is live your life. LYFE. Love yourself first explicitly. And I'm always telling my coaching clients and on my podcast I do by myself, if you don't have that in check and you love yourself first explicitly, it doesn't matter how much success you have, how much money you have, whatever it is, you're not going to feel good about you until you do the work. So even though Wendy has her show, even though Wendy has success as a radio DJ and all that, Wendy doesn't love Wendy. Mm-mm. And so, of course, she's going to have a very hard time giving anybody else any type of props. And now to see this lady be able to see her dream to fruition, manifest all of this, of course, Wendy's not going to be able to clap for her.
Oh my God, did she just say Fraggle Rock legs? Hold on, let
oh my gosh. Yeah, she is ill-built.
Working for another day, let the music play.
How did you remember that?
You don't remember Fraggle Rock?
Yes, and I could join in with you, but for somebody just to mention it and me be able to just like that, no.
No, honey, I used to get down with the Fraggle Rock. Don't get started with the Fraggle. He said, because Wendy Williams is a puppet. You know what? Okay, so we're going to talk about the entertainment industry as it relates. There are a lot of people who are puppets. You know what I mean? And I'm like, am I for it or am I against it? I don't know, because sometimes that puppet master is making for good television. Because, okay, so let's make it make sense, right? Good television. I don't know, have you ever watched any of the Love and Hip Hops?
Like back when it first came on, I tried.
Okay, so I want to know from everybody in the audience, I want to know, do you all notice that they are moving all of New York to Atlanta? I'm just saying, like the way that
even though this reality TV, they're always setting up scenarios and they always getting people together where they know there's going to be conflict. It's definitely not reality.
So, but that's how I'm looking at this whole Tabitha Brown thing. I think this was a whole, let me move everybody to know who Tabitha Brown is. Listen, Tabitha Brown already had a big enough name. She had a big name from the first time she started with that, when she was eating a sandwich in the car. Does anybody remember? You know what I mean? You don't remember? You don't know. You don't. Listen, we'll talk about you later. But that's how she became Tabitha Brown. I mean, even though that's kind of her name, but you get where I'm going.
Right.
So she became like an overnight sensation, right? People were already checking for her, but now all of a sudden they have taken her to a whole nother level by making Wendy Williams talk about her. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because she was YouTube famous and she was whatever, but maybe she wasn't McCormick famous. So maybe McCormick felt like, look, if we're going to put our name on this and get behind you, we need to guarantee that at least this first batch we put our coins into is going to sell out. I mean, it makes perfect sense. I don't deny it or doubt it, I should say, at all. I could believe it either way because we are dealing with Wendy Williams. So I can definitely believe that Wendy ran across her, read that story and decided to say something. But I could also believe it was a setup. I mean, and if it was a setup, it was genius because it's so easy to believe that Wendy would do that.
It's easy to believe that Wendy would do it. And the read was totally effortless and perfect. Phyllis, can we talk about the fact that you see her on the regular at your grocery store in your town? I need pictures. I need receipts. And let me tell you why. Because Wendy, when she goes out in the public, okay, it is scary. I have seen pictures of Miss Wendy Williams, Wendy the Williams, honey, looking an absolute perfect mess. Who is scary?
But that's another thing. You look at Tabitha, who is a vegan, who is a natural hair girl, who does not wear a lot of makeup. Even when she's dressed to the nines, you can tell she is very natural. So again, something else that would irk a Wendy Williams, because again, not much on Wendy is natural at all. She always is trying to be full glam. So for her to see this sister who is not putting all that into that part of it, who is really just making it based off of her personality and the fact that people really buy into her, that's enough to get under Wendy's skin. But that's like what we were talking about a few weeks ago, about how we just can't clap for each other. Why would you try to pull this sister down? Because for me, unless it was an agreement. Now, if Tabitha agreed with it and this was a publicity stunt, then we can't say anything about Wendy at all. You know, that's just the part of the deal. But if Wendy did do this on her own, again, here's a Black woman tearing down another Black woman for absolutely nothing. Because what I want to touch on is that husband and wife agreement. What do you think about that, April? The fact that they had that agreement. And so she knew her goal was to be a success and bring my husband off his job. How do you feel about that?
Can I be 100% honest with you?
Please.
I want to do the same thing.
Anything else?
I want so desperately to do the same thing for my husband. Oh, I want to do the same thing for my husband. And the funny thing is, I told my husband that before Miss Tabitha decided to put that out there. I was like, babe, one day you will not work and I will pay all of your bills. I will take care of everything from the rooter to the tutor. I want to do that for my husband. So am I mad at her? No. And he was a police officer.
Yeah.
Listen, in this day and age, with everything that's going on with the police officers, why wouldn't we want to? Why? I mean, don't get it twisted. We need more police officers. So if you know somebody who is good, please push them to become a police officer. But I'm sorry, I digress.
Yeah, that would be difficult for me. Yeah, for my husband to be out there risking his life, even though it's very noble, it's a courageous job, it's much needed. But the funny part about it, again, I'm like you, April, that is my goal as well. That is our goal as a couple. And it's not that my husband doesn't have hopes and dreams and aspirations, but like Tabitha said, I'm his dog in the fight because why? As far as a career goes, as far as a 9 to 5, my husband has more earning potential in that corporate sector. So it only makes sense that even though we are both very entrepreneurial, we're both motivational speakers, authors, we're like-minded, a lot of things in common. It only makes sense for him to be the one, until we get where we want to be, him to be the one to keep that job. But soon, and I said soon with a T,
yes, as
I'm able to, and we're able to get to a place where he doesn't need to, I can't wait for me to be able to tell him, babe, put in that 2 weeks. Because we're a team. It's not me taking care of a man, me pulling him off a job. And that's what I didn't understand with Wendy. Who did she think had been holding it down for these 15 years while she was trying to pursue this career? Like, she owes him, for lack of a better word. You're a team. So what would I look like? My book takes off and sells millions of copies and I'm on all kinds of stages. Then I tell my husband, well, you got to get in when you fit in. While he has literally supported me financially, he has supported me mentally. What would I look like to say, oh, well, I'm not taking care of you? How I eat today?
So I'm going to talk about it, because a lot of people I've been watching a lot of things on the good television and the good interwebs lately, right? And they've been talking about relationships and how, a woman always says things along the lines of, well, I need a man who can pay my bills. I need a man who has a roof over his head. He got to come with something. What do you bring to the table? Listen, lady, I'm going to ask you the same question. What do you bring to the table? Now, a lot of the problem is that a lot of women do believe that, well, I bring a lot to the table. I am really good in bed. First of all, a lot of you think you're good in bed.
So is she and so is her.
Well, right. And I'm just saying, so it's like, what do you bring to the table? And that's one of the things that made me appreciate Tabitha, because she's like, listen, I'm going to show you that I'm going to work my behind off. I'm going to do everything in my power to be able to match what you're doing, right? And she did it and she exceeded. Put in your notice. Come through.
I can't wait to tell Wallace B. Hall Jr. to put in that notice. I'm going to write it for him.
I already have mine written.
Yeah.
My husband, dear boss, bye. The end.
Period.
Look, dear boss, bye. The end. Okay. Matthew said it. Matthew Winston. He was like, he believed in her. Why is that a problem? I didn't understand when Wendy was like, no, you shouldn't do that. You should. The reason that you have that issue is because your husband didn't want you. And so you are angry because your husband believed in you to make money for who? Him.
Exactly.
Baby mama. You know what I mean? He wanted you to continue making that money for he and somebody else. He was only staying with you for the money. He only impregnated you so that you will continue to be his cash cow. Why, sir, ma'am, are you having this problem?
But that's why I loved when Tabitha said, my prayer for her is that love finds her, because that's what love is. That's what a genuine love is. But clearly, Wendy doesn't even believe in love, because if she thinks that as soon as you are able to do something for someone, especially of a monetary value, y'all know what I'm trying to say, that's it. It's like, how devastating is that for you to have to come to that realization that your partner supposedly only loves you for what you can give monetarily? And like I said, it's so crazy because in my situation, my husband would be just fine on his own without me financially doing what he's doing. Me, on the other hand, I can't say the same doing what I want to do. I can't say that I would live the lifestyle that I like to live and we would do the things that I like to do without me. So again, it would look crazy for me to say, oh, well, you're going to keep working that job. And I just couldn't imagine, why would somebody put that much time and effort and support someone for that long who isn't really bringing anything to the table financially for that long, just to leave them for that little bit? No, it makes no sense to me. But that's the place that Wendy is coming from, because unfortunately, that's her expectation, because that was her reality.
Listen, you can't be mad if somebody don't want you. You know what I mean? And like, she should have left him. She should have left him a long time ago. Who said it? Katrina. She is still paying him to this day. What does she have to pay? I think up front she had to pay $10 million. Child, bye. $10 million up front, and now you still giving him a check?
Yeah, that makes no sense. But again, that's her experience with a husband, with a man. And so she wants to visit that on everyone else instead of just saying, I made a poor choice. I stayed too long. I was with the wrong man. No, she wants to be on that whole thing. All men are dogs. If it happened to me, it's going to happen to you. And that's not the case at all.
Oh, Lisa Lee, honey, I'm not mixed gendering Wendy Williams. I mixed gender people all the time.
Your sir, ma'am.
Right. If somebody gets on my nerves, honey, your name is sir, ma'am. Like, I don't, sir, ma'am. Let's take you what we're going to do. So, no. As far as I'm concerned, Wendy Williams was born a woman and had a child out of her girly parts.
Yeah, I don't buy into that whole thing because I know a lot of people like to call her Wendell Williams. Now, I will go to bat for her on that. I
She
definitely
was a beautiful woman at one
yeah,
time.
I believe that she is definitely a woman, and yeah, she's just done things to herself to me to make her look less attractive than she did before. But again, that's just her choice, her prerogative. But yeah, I definitely believe, and especially being a woman, born a woman with a deep voice myself, I'm like, and I'm 6 foot tall. Yeah, no, Wendy's a woman.
You're 6 feet tall.
No, I say I'm 5'9".
Oh,
I'm
okay.
5'9", but I always just say 6 feet. But I put on some heels and I'm about 6'2" because I will put on the 5-6 inch stilettos with no problem.
We all, you know what? For the tall ladies out there, please make sure that you put on your heels, honey. It is always so much fun to tower over the world.
Yeah, I love it. I have been this height since I was in 6th grade. So taller than all the boys, taller than all the teachers. So yeah, I do have a soft spot in my heart for people who, have things to say about women who are of just a little bit bigger of a stature, whatever. We still women, and Wendy is a woman. So
yes, I listen.
She's just a messy woman.
I honestly feel sorry for her. But you know who I really feel sorry for? Her son. Because even though he is, I think he's like 18. No, he's like 20 now or something like that.
Yeah, he has to be close to being an adult, I'm sure.
Yeah. But even still, it is so sad because he is going to have to live with the fact that is his mom, and his mom is constantly feeding the world drama, and everybody hates her. And now that she's coming out, so now that other people are seeing her outside of just the studio, she's trying to act like, oh, well, I'm friends with this person. No, honey, everybody just wants to be seen with you. Nobody wants to be your actual friend.
Nobody trusts Wendy. Nobody trusts Wendy. And how could you?
Well, look what she did to what's her name? Black China. Look what she did to Black China.
What'd she do, girl? Tell me.
Honey, she was sitting up there, she was going out with her, hanging out with her, and then next thing you know, she's like, well, she's broke. Why?
Wow.
Why? If that is your friend, unless this is a hot topic, this wasn't even a hot topic. You just brought this information out on your own. Sit down somewhere.
Exactly. And that's the thing. No one trusts Wendy, and Wendy has no friends. Again, I have been a Wendy Williams fan before. I'm not really so much anymore. Because I just feel like she's a little too desperate and she goes a little too hard. But I do feel for her because that's not a healthy mind, because it's one thing, again, like Adrian said, just to do things for shock value. But with Wendy, it gets nasty. It gets, below the belt, and it's for no reason. And then not only, you talked about Wendy having a child, she has no regard for the people that she talks about and the fact that they have children. Why are you doing this and putting people's business out there just to try to get your ratings, or maybe just to lick your wounds, whatever it is? But these people have children, and I just feel like Wendy, I don't get it anymore. Like, it's not even funny to me.
Well, okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, for everybody that's watching, I'm sorry, forgive me, but can y'all please make sure to hit that like button? I just want to make sure that you all are enjoying this. I want to make sure. I mean, let's just be real here.
We're friends.
We're friends. You done came. You in our house, okay? We have invited you. All we're asking for you to do is to hit that like button. We're not asking you for a dime. Hit the like button.
Hit the like button.
You like it? It's free. And then also, Freddie, you said you don't feel sorry for the wealthy. Okay, let's pause for a second, because. Are you wealthy? And I mean, people who are wealthy do go through things. It doesn't matter, because I promise you that one day I will be filthy rich. And when that happens, if I have a bad day, honey, give me some love.
I mean, we're all human, no matter how much money is in the bank account. And that's why I said, even with Wendy, it's clear that she's suffering. It's clear that she has some emotional distress. It's clear that she has not read my book, Love Yourself First, explicitly. It is clear. And she has money. She has money, but a healthy mind, a healthy individual does not behave in that way. And so I have to say, I do feel sorry for Wendy. My heart goes out to her. I hope love finds her. I hope she finds help. I hope she knows her worth, because right now, that's the sad part about wealthy people who suffer mentally. She believes that her only worth is the dollar sign.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know her true worth. And I feel sorry for her for that.
It's so unfortunate. And I mean, you look at her family, you look at her friends, but okay, so let's go back to Tabitha Brown. How do you think that situation affected her family? So she has 2 daughters and a son, I think. I could be wrong.
I know she has children, but I don't know what I don't know what their denominations are, but that would mean that they were pastors or something, but you know what I mean.
Well, hallelujah, holla back, child. Hallelujah, holla back. Let's just go with she has 2 daughters and a son. I want to know what her children were thinking. They were probably like, oh my gosh, Wendy Williams is talking about my mom. Wait, why is Wendy shading my mother?
Right.
Why don't we ever think about how like celebrities are treated when they're dealing 1 son, 1 daughter? Really? I saw 2 in a picture. Honey, but her daughter is beautiful. Anyway, I want to know what you all think about bonus daughter. What do you all think about her, like the children? How does this affect people's children when they are shaded in the media? What y'all think?
Yeah, I mean, for me, yeah, y'all put it in the comments and I'm just going to blab my mouth. But that's the thing that gets me, because children are very impressionable. They hang around with other children, and there are many Wendy Williams out there, you know, the mean girls and all that. And so I hate when this kind of information is put out there for the whole wide world, because I know that, you know, there are a lot of strong-minded kids and they don't let anything faze them. But a lot of kids are thinking, well, if she said this, is there anything true about this? Like, is this wrong? Is my dad a deadbeat for wanting to come home and my mama take care of him? Like, why would they say that? And I just hate that. There should never be any thread of doubt thrown into a child's mind about the decisions that their parents make. And Wendy has no idea what goes on in that household. And I'm like, how dare you decide to make it your business to tell them how to run their business?
Yeah, okay, facts. And right now, there's so many people who are fighting, in my opinion, who are fighting for Wendy Williams' time slot, meaning everybody knows that Wendy Williams' time is very limited on network television, right? And so you have your Tasha K's of the world. You have your, well, see, some of the other ones aren't. Tasha K is Lovely T. Lovely T is is really chill. I like Lovely T. But you have all of these other kind of Wendy Williams-esque individuals who are coming up on YouTube and things of that nature. So it's like, people don't realize, yeah, you're trying to get some money. You're trying to get name recognition, whatever it is, but you are affecting so many people. You have millions of views a day. You're affecting so many people. I think their mothers clap back. Oh, yes. Their mothers clap back, settle their souls. Child, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure. You know something I just thought about, and because I'm such a cornball and I think I'm so hilarious, but the funny thing about this is the way Wendy came for Tabitha and the reason she came for her and talking about taking her off her job actually is very contradictory, because that's what Wendy did without even making the agreement. She just got played into doing it. So it's like, boo, where your husband work? Who's paying his bills? And she did it without the agreement. So I just thought that was kind of funny when I thought about that. I'm like, Wendy, you did the same thing, boo.
Ma'am, your husband's whole job was you. If you died, your husband would be out of a job. Your husband's whole way of eating, drinking, paying any bills is because of you.
Yeah, she was the chick getting dropped off at work by her boo in her car.
In her car.
That's Wendy.
Come on, Wendy.
How dare you? How dare you say anything? Like, I mean, at least this was a plan and nothing like this. Even if she just said, I want to take care of you, that's what I'm going to do. At least it was her decision. At least it was her decision, not doing it just to have a man. And I love the way Tabitha emphasized, we've been together for 23 years. We've been broke together. We struggled together. I mean, come on now. I think she knows who she's married to.
Wait, but then at the end of Wendy Williams' read, did Wendy not say their marriage is not going to last long? So, ma'am, pause for the cause. Wait 23 years of marriage, okay? 20
already lasted long.
It's already, if he decides to leave her right now, they have had a good run together. Please don't leave her, though. I'm going to tell you.
What did he do? I mean, and I don't know their business for real, for real. Like we said, these are characters, people on TV, people on the internet, whatever. But still, what would make him leave?
Nothing, because she's a pretty woman. Her skin is impeccable. I kind of hate her a little bit because of her skin. But yeah, no. I mean, there's no reason for her to.
Makes no sense. And again, this is a mature couple. They're not 22.
No.
Well, I'm sure they have had plenty of bumps in the roads, ups and downs. They ain't been happy every day. And she been struggling, trying to chase this dream. If he was going to leave, he would have been left.
He would have been left. I'm not going to sit around and stay with you, work this hard while you are crying every day. Because let's be real here. Anybody knows anybody in the music industry, television industry, anything entertainment, you won't come home with tears in your eyes every once in a while. I'm just putting it out there.
Absolutely.
Okay?
And that's the thing. I'm sure she has gotten on his nerves. I'm sure he got tired of it. I'm sure there was days when he was just like, look, chick, you need to get a job. You know what I mean? He stayed through all that. And now he going to leave for the little chunk of change that he can probably get in a settlement, because she's still new in this.
Mm-hmm.
So even if he is just about the coint, he going to want to have to ride this stuff out to really make it worth his while.
I absolutely listen. Okay, so I have to be honest with you. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Strong enough for a man, but pH balance for a woman. I did not like Tabitha. Somebody said it earlier, like that's not even her real voice. That's not her. That's an act. Fine. I didn't like her at first. I promised myself I would never say this because she's a fellow vegan, and I was just like, does she like that? And because that's your business and all those other little sayings. And then I had to pause for a second. I'm like, I don't think I really hate her. I don't dislike her. It's just that I guess it was so different than what we are accustomed to. See, this is the problem with the way we are nowadays. We are fed so much of the same that when we get something different, we're like, oh, that's honey. And then she read Miss Wendy Williams.
Yes.
I don't care if it was an act. I don't care if it was an act. I don't care if it was fake. I don't care if I don't care. The way she did it showed the next generation, honey, that class is still alive. Ladies still are classy, and they read. No tables had to be flipped. No cursing had to be done. Honey, she did it. And I was so appreciative of her actions behind that read. Honey, it was warranted, but it was, honey, it was everything. I will never get over. I will never.
That is an art. That is art.
It's an art. I don't care if she had it rehearsed. I don't care if somebody wrote it for her. I don't care what the situation is. Now I love Tabitha Brown. It is done. I have spoken. Okay. And so my drop, like I said, it was something. Initially, I was like, you're doing too much. And then it went from that to, you know what? I mean, she ain't that bad. To now, I'm like, you know what? I like her. I don't care. It is done. I have spoken.
Yes. I mean, and that's something I learned a long time ago. And you and I had a conversation about this art off camera. And it's something that, I don't like to be put in the situations ever where I have to give somebody some let know. But when I do, I can do it so quietly, so eloquently. I can cuss you out with not ever saying a curse word. have you in tears, having you feel real, real bad. And then I can even say, and have a blessed day.
Bless your heart.
Bless your, see, well, I'm really an East Coast girl. So the bless your heart is still kind of new to me. But yeah, so I'm really on the have a blessed day. But yeah, either or, and I can do it and I can walk out and no one would ever know that there was a word.
Listen, I am from the heart of DC. I remember having employees in my office and they would be going off on everybody and everything for every reason. And you would just come sit down in my office. Child, and I would talk to you with a smile on my face. Amen. Oh, glory. I would talk to you with the biggest smile on my face. I would look like I'm giving you nothing but love while the tears flow down yours. And I'm cursing you out with the most love, so you think. Now I will give you nothing but love in my curse out. Bless your heart.
Yes, yes. And go carry on. Carry on. So I love that, especially in this day and age of the Real Housewives and the hollering and screaming and drink throwing and tables turning. Because again, I hate that stigma of the angry Black woman, which is crazy to me because as Black women, we have rights to every emotion that is available to anyone else, including anger. But we've just had that label put on us. We're angry Black women, and we're yelling and we're hollering. So it was so nice to see, because I do believe Tabitha had to have some anger. She had to have, she had to be a little miffed. I'm sure she wasn't feeling her best. I mean, at least she was feeling some kind of way. And she let it be known, but she didn't throw near drink, call near name, turn no table, or even raise her voice. Bless your heart. And I loved it. And that was, I'm sure, an angry Black woman, which is okay to be.
So I've always been known, I think we talked about this too. I've always been, I'm combative. And now see, my smile, I will give you a smile and a heartbeat.
And bat them eyes.
In a heartbeat. Somebody will come in and say, you need to do this. Do I now? Why don't you come talk to me in my office and tell me what I need to do? Yes. Let's discuss. Because there are no cameras in my office, okay? There are no microphones in my office. Why don't you come and talk to me in my office, one-on-one, and say all the things that you think that you wanted to say before you came in here? Say it to my face.
Right.
Put the cameras around, and let's see how far this conversation goes.
Yeah. Oh, I love a one-on-one.
Oh,
I love a one-on-one because I don't need anyone to know except for you and I. I don't need to perform for anyone. I have been on many stages in front of a many of audience, been there, done that. Don't need it anymore. So I'm like you. I welcome a one-on-one, and whatever it is that you have to say, please feel free because I have plenty to say as well.
She said, meet me outside. No, darling. It's catch me outside. How about that?
Catch me outside. Boo.
Listen, I'm trying, told you. I'm going to make it make sense. Cash me outside.
Yes. But it's funny. I mean, but Wendy, even if it was a publicity stunt, she met her match. That's what I love about it. And I love the way Tabitha went out at it. But still, Wendy met her match. No one has been able to clap back at her the way Tabitha did. Because people expect people to holler and scream and trash talk Wendy Williams. Again, who would have cared? But she got to bless your heart.
Mm-hmm. Listen, since I have moved down south, I am the queen of bless your heart. I was like, oh, bless your heart. Come on, let's talk about that.
Yes. So I need to know on this because I'm not always up on the latest. Has Wendy, like this is the real Roxanne Shantae, has Wendy had a response? Has she come back with the remix?
She has not.
No.
I'm going to tell you what I'm surprised about, to your point, right? I'm surprised that nobody said, okay, well, let's go ahead and have Tabitha Brown on the show. That would have been an opportunity for Wendy to say, well, you know what? This is what I had to say. Because, Wendy is very quick to say, to have some words to say to somebody else. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So she's like, I'll say it in your face.
Right.
I won't say it in my face. Why come? Yes, I said why come. Why come you ain't asked Tabitha Brown to come up on the show? You know why? Because it's a publicity stunt, and all you wanted to do is sell her some sunshine.
Yeah, and I definitely believe it. Like I said, because it wouldn't hurt either one of them, because no one cares what Wendy says. So Wendy's not going to lose anything, and neither is Tabitha. And I saw a gentleman earlier who commented to when I said there's no such thing as bad publicity or all publicity is good publicity. And he said, just ask Felicia Rashad. But my thing is, when I say that, it's, I mean, depending on your genre, like who your audience is and what's expected. There's no such thing as bad publicity for a Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams, no matter how she shows up, the expectation is for it to be a hot mess. The expectation is for it to be ignorant. And so there's no such thing as bad publicity for a Wendy Williams. So I will correct myself, depending on who you are, when you already are out there looking at a mess. Huh?
No, pause. First of all, that is exactly what you would say to an ugly child. I'm so sorry.
What?
I didn't say that out loud. Did I say that out loud? I didn't mean it.
You did. I heard you all the way.
I don't know. I'm sorry. But I think when it comes to even Felicia Rashad, did a lot of people, even though they knew that she was about to go start working at the Howard University, a lot of people that weren't really checking for Felicia Rashad lately. So now all of a sudden she is on the forefront of people's mind.
I know, but she's also risking losing that good government job.
Okay, but she might risk being Mrs. Huxtable again. I'm just making a point. She might have other doors opening for her. So the fact is, she has always been an actress. Nobody has known her for anything other than that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I think the person who taught that to us the best was Vanessa Williams. Look at that mess.
Okay, hold on, wait. Are you talking about when she was?
Is that before your time, April?
No, I know all about. You talking about when she was a hold on, pause. She was a Miss USA, no, Miss America, and she was taking naked pictures, not naked,
right? Naked.
So what do you mean?
Look what that did. So they stripped her of her crown. They stripped her of her title. But whoever hears of most of the Miss whoever's they are again after that day, I truly believe Vanessa Williams' career would not have launched, and we would not ever think about. The only reason we would ever think of Vanessa Williams now is because that was a part of our history. But as far as her having a career, very likely we would have never heard of her again. So those photos being leaked was quite possibly the best thing that ever happened to her.
Facts. Okay. Okay. Let's talk about somebody. Sorry, you guys. I have to do it. Kimberly Kardashian. I mean,
people say her mom leaked that her mom did it to launch her career, and it worked.
It worked. Ugh. And I mean, like, she has messed up the lives of how many?
How many people have you destroyed on your path to success?
With her vagina. How many? I'm just asking for a friend. But seriously, like, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. And for the most part, yeah, all publicity is good publicity. We don't necessarily want bad publicity, but there is a way, if you have a good publicist, to spin anything, which excuse me, no one heard that. That's disgusting. Which is very frustrating to me, because now you have a group of people who are making money off of doing stupid things. I'll give you an example. Anybody remember Gorilla Glue Girl? And now all of a sudden,
you got a line.
She's selling hair products. And none of it is like the, what is it? Gotta be glue spray. None of it is like that. I'm just saying, make it make sense. All publicity is good publicity, because
especially when no one cares. That's
if you
have a lot to lose, then you may have, it may be a problem. But more oftentimes than not, no such thing because no one was talking about you yesterday, and now everyone is talking about
everybody. So, I mean, I'm just saying, nowadays, this is where it's sad. All day and all night, people are glued to their cell phone.
Gorilla glued.
That was good.
I told you I'm funny.
That was good. I laughed out loud. Don't tell nobody, but I did. I laughed. But yeah, like, and it's who said y'all are haters? How are we haters? Who have we hated on?
Wendy?
Wait, I'm pausing. I have to stop and think for a second. Did we hate on anybody? Even the Gorilla Glue girl, we were showing her love.
Right, and even Wendy. I said Wendy's just doing what Wendy does. I mean, shoot. I don't know. We're haters.
This is hilarious. I'm absolutely like having the time of my life. Y'all are funny. Listen, this is horrible. I just who's a hater? We hating on Tabitha?
Tabitha, no, we love Tabitha.
I'm gonna need you to go sit down somewhere. Bless your heart. Nah, okay. I'm sorry. Keeping people real. Listen, we love you. I'm not lying. Not this time. I'm not lying. But that was funny. Anyway, you guys. Yeah. Can we get again while you all are on here and showing us nothing but love? Can we ask that you all please hit that like button and were we hating on the ugly children? Okay, let's be real here. All children are beautiful. It was a joke. I'm not the funny one. I'm not funny in real life. Right. And for those of you who don't know, ugly stands for understand God loves you. UGLY.
Yes.
So it's okay for me to call you ugly if I believe that God loves you.
Because God loves everybody.
Hallelujah, holla back. So
no such thing as an ugly anybody, because someone out there, what do they say? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
That is true. And we have seen people with other people that we like, how did that happen? Because they're beautiful. We just don't know it. Anyway, but yeah, can y'all please hit the like button?
Yes, please hit the like button. Please share. Please subscribe to Fly Nubian Queen so we can chop it up like this every week. Because for those of you who may be new, you missed we're triplets. So yeah. Our third sis is not here. So y'all got to tune in next week just so you can see all three of the triplets.
True. And real quick, I want to make sure that we give her a shout out. So everybody, please make sure that you all are following her at everywhere Constance Carter. Also, make sure that you all are visiting her website, ConstanceCarter.com. Please show Fly Nubian Queen some love and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. If you haven't already, subscribe. And if you know somebody who hasn't already, make sure they do too. Now, Stay Hall, how can people follow you?
They can find me all over the www, which is the World Wide Web, at Stay Hall. I am at Stay Hall everywhere. You can go to my website, which is stayhall.com. But if you want to find me on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever, at Stay Hall. That's your girl. And what about you, April? Because we're looking for you, girl.
Well, listen. Hold on. Before we get to me, what are you working on right now? Because I know you got a lot of stuff going on, and you have another podcast that you're working on too.
Yes, so I do. I actually have two podcasts, one by myself that I host by myself, which is Queen Talk with your girl, Stay Hall, Live Your Life, LYFE, Love Yourself First Explicitly. That is on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, YouTube and Facebook. I am a life coach, LYFE, Love Yourself First Explicitly. And so I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching. And I have some slots available opening up in August. It is a 6-week coaching session. And I just help you and give you the tools so that you can live at your highest self. And so if you want more information about that, just go to stayhall.com and click contact us, and us meaning me. Contact me. Just click it.
In addition, y'all, last week on Monday that just passed, she was talking about what the universe is telling you. I'm telling you that she is the truth. Make sure that you're following her. Make sure that you're showing her nothing but love because she deserves all of it. So I am working on.
Thank you, girl.
I'm here for you and no one else. Currently, I am working on a Lord Jesus. I'm working on a television show called Veg Out and Dine. In addition to that television show where I focus on the vegan lifestyle, I also coach. So any of you who are looking to become a vegan, I have a class starting August 3rd. It's going to be an 8-week class. It's only $25 a class. Only $25. What a bargain. Also, I only have a few more beds left for the Wellness on the Beach event that is going to be held in October in an undisclosed location. It's going to be not too far from Myrtle Beach, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all that. That's what I'm going to tell y'all so far. But I'm telling you, it's going to be too hot to handle, too cold to hold. And you can follow me everywhere, April Sampe and Veg Out and Dine.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all need to follow her because we need to do better, eat better, because, you know, everything is from the inside out, mind, body, and soul. So, you know, I can help you get your mind right while April helps you get your body right. And we just can complete the whole circle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and don't forget, Constance Carter will help you get your money right, honey.
Money right.
You get that money.
That, that Skrilla, that coin, that, yeah. That's what she's about.
So listen, we love you guys. We appreciate you. Please don't hesitate. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Love you long time. Bye-bye then.
Love y'all. See you next week.